Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Welcome to SuperDavedevYT channel. This is SuperDavedevYT. Unfortunately, the race is wet. There's so much rain. They did 3 laps in the start of the race, and then they went to the pit lane. Now they're back on the race. They actually just started the race 2 laps ago. So they restarted the race 2 laps ago. People are going into the pits. It's actually pretty crazy out there, to be honest with you. I'm kind of surprised how they are able to go racing in this weather, to be completely honest. So I didn't expect them to go back to racing, so I actually took my time. If you haven't noticed, everything has changed on my screen. Unfortunately, I lost some data on my PC. I had to reinstall my operating system, and that is why everything is brand new. That is why it looks so bare bones. It looks like I came unprepared. It's not that I came unprepared, it's that I had to reinstall my Windows, and that's why you see almost nothing on the screen. So I had to do everything very quickly. So if we look at the current, so people are coming in for tires. So people came in for tires. We've got Alonso in first place right now. We've got Ricciardo second, Mick Schumacher in third, Verstappen in fourth, Zhao, the Alfa Romeo Chinese driver in fifth, Leclerc in sixth, Perez in seventh, Ocon in eighth, Hamilton in ninth, Vettel in 10th, Latifi 11th, Norris in 12th, Yuki Tsunoda 13, Russell 14, Stroll 15, Bottas 16, 17, Magnussen 18, Gasly. So yes, we are going racing, but the racing conditions are very poor, very bad conditions, very rainy. There's so much visibility issues right now. It is actually sad to see that they actually went racing in these conditions. I see I'm having some frame rate drops, which makes no sense to me. Why am I having frame rate drops, bro? Interesting. I'm having frame rate issues and I have no idea why. So yeah, so if you don't know this, we could not start the race because guess what? It's raining. It's the same thing with Belgium. The only difference is they're actually trying to go racing. I will not be surprised if there's an actual accident about to happen. Oh, please, Mick Schumacher, don't crash into the back of Verstappen. Verstappen is now back into first place. Verstappen is trying to win this championship now, dude. He's trying to get it now. He's actually trying to get it now because now Leclerc is in third place, Mick Schumacher's in second. So if it finishes as it is now and we get full points, if we get full points scored, then Verstappen will be world champion. However, they did say 25 laps completed will only get 50% points. I do apologize, my microphone does not have the noise filter, so you'll probably hear a lot of noise. Unfortunately, can't do much about it. Can't do too much about it, unfortunately. Okay, I'm just gonna try and move my stuff around here. Just gonna try and move my stuff around here so I can at least attempt to fix my. Okay, so dude, what is going on with my dude, like, this is so strange. This is so strange. Do I have the wrong settings? Oh, I have the wrong settings. Okay, I see. Let's see, will that fix it? Yep, that fixed it. Yeah, so I definitely made a mistake. Damn, I made a mistake, man. I'm a rookie streamer, it seems. It seems like so Leclerc is back into second place. So Verstappen will not win the World Championship. Even if they somehow complete 100% laps, they will not, or 100% of the race distance, or more than 60 or 70% of the race distance, they will not be awarded full points. And that means that unfortunately, even if Verstappen is in first place and Leclerc might not have been in second place, which he is in second place at the moment, Verstappen will not win the World Championship. Not this race anyways, not this race. However, we have to consider the fact that Max Verstappen is definitely going to win perhaps the next race in America, Austin. Yes, we're going to America. Next race, Austin, Texas. Going to find out how Max Verstappen is going to win the World Championship, because at the moment we have to consider the fact that it's just a matter of time, dude. Just a matter of time before Max Verstappen actually wins the World Championship at this point. And you know what? It's best that they delay it, because you know what? They should give it some time. Because it's going to finish the championship too quickly if Max Verstappen gets a championship win. And then the whole Formula 1 race season would... Whoa, fastest lap for Max Verstappen in the rain, dude. Like, I can't explain to you how bad visibility looks. I don't even know how they're possible. How is it even possible for them to even... Okay, let's just quickly see. Good. Okay, I think I might fix the noise suppression right now. The noise... I think the noise might be fixed right now. I'm just trying to fix my stream while I'm trying to commentate. And what I can say now is that I can't imagine racing in these conditions, dude. It is insane. It literally looks like they are racing and there's clouds on the racetrack. Like, it's impossible to imagine how this rain, this water coming up from the floor, basically water spray looks like clouds. This water spray looks like clouds all around the track where the race cars are racing. Some places there isn't water spray, but some places there is water spray. So yeah, if you're wondering why my setup looks so scuffed, unfortunately my computer system caused some issues. I lost some data and I had to reinstall Windows, and that's that. Now we are back at square one, trying to make sure that everything is fixed and ready. And I also had to fix some issues with my streaming setup, because I actually set some settings was incorrect. And now we're gonna hopefully see that it's fixed and I can be ready for the next time. Better prepared for next time. However, next time I will make sure that everything is fixed and ready. So I wasn't gonna stream today because it was supposed to start around 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I realized no, it's an hour later. And then even when they started, they couldn't, like, I still missed the start of the race. And then I saw that they were in the pits, red flag, didn't start because it was raining. So I almost 100% believe they were not going to restart the race, but they did restart the race. Very interesting that they restarted this race. I'm just curious how did they not restart the Belgian race, but they restart this race? It seems like there's some places around the track that is drier. Not dry, but drier. And it seems like that was the reason why they decided to go racing, because they said, you know what? As long as some parts of the racetrack, or the majority of the racetrack looks dry, when it comes to not as much spray from the cars, then that's fine. And I feel like that is exactly what's happening. I'm just wondering, I just hope that I'm not even sure if my stream is... I'm not sure if my stream is working properly. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't see... unless if Leclerc makes a massive mistake, as well as... Unless if Leclerc makes a massive mistake, also if Verstappen can complete more than 80% of the race, then I believe this is Max Verstappen World Championship, bro. Then he will get this championship right now. And I don't think he will, because like I said, they have to do a lot. They only have 26 minutes left. They only have 26 minutes. They're only allowed to do 26 minutes because of visibility and the fact that it's getting darker at Japan right now. It's getting darker, and they do not have any further reason to actually race after 26 minutes, because guess what, it's going to be dark. It's going to literally be dark. Brakes or what? Someone is just complaining. Okay, so if you haven't followed the start of the race, which I do apologize, I didn't stream from the start of the race. Lewis Hamilton pushed that the race has to restart. The race has to restart. The race has to restart. Guess what? Hamilton is now complaining about his car not functioning in the rain. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that you are the one wanting to race in the wet? And remember, he wants to race in the wet because he feels his car is so bad. He needs the rain to somehow equalize the playing field. So he's basically selfish. That is what it comes down to. He's selfish. So we are seeing Hamilton versus, no, that is Russell. Russell versus Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda, this is his home race. He's from Japan. So I'm not sure if Yuki Tsunoda can keep Russell behind him. Right? Russell is driving a Mercedes. I doubt that Russell will be kept behind Yuki Tsunoda for much longer. But I'm sure that Yuki Tsunoda is going to do anything he can to stay in that point finish position, because he's in 10th place. 10th place means one championship point at least. So let's just quickly do a position check. Position check for Verstappen first, Leclerc second, Perez third, Ocon fourth, Hamilton fifth, Vettel sixth, Alonso seventh, Latifi eighth, Norris ninth. So it seems like it wasn't Lewis that complained about his car, it was Russell that complained about his car. So that's my honest mistake. I thought it was Hamilton, but trust me, Lewis Hamilton will complain sooner or later. Trust me, he will. As soon as he does, I will report it. If he doesn't, I will also report it. Hamilton on the radio as we speak. Hamilton. So it was Hamilton that complained about his front wheels. Okay, so it seems that Lewis Hamilton did complain, but he complained about his front wheels not having grip. So just to quickly go through the list, the position check: Verstappen first, Leclerc second, Perez third, Ocon fourth, Hamilton fifth, Vettel sixth, Alonso seventh, Latifi eighth, Norris ninth, Yuki Tsunoda 10th, holding on to 10th, Russell 11th, attacking Yuki Tsunoda, Lance Stroll 12, Ricciardo 13, Magnussen 14, Bottas in 15, Gasly in 16, Zhou in 17, Mick Schumacher in 18, and then Albon and Carlos Sainz is out. If you don't know this, Carlos Sainz was aquaplaning, which means, I believe in America you call this hydroplaning, where his car no longer had grip because of the standing water, and he was sliding all over the track into a barrier, almost got hit by oncoming traffic, which is scary stuff. And then Albon's car's engine just cut out, so he had a technical or mechanical issue, depending on how you want to say it. So Albon and Carlos Sainz out of the race. Those are the only two drivers out of the race. There is also a situation where there was an unsafe recovery vehicle on the track during the very dangerous situation of the rain and the visibility being so poor. There was a vehicle on the track doing the recovery of these vehicles, and unfortunately there wasn't a safety car to keep the cars behind and keep them slowing down, and it could have been much worse. That's basically what I'm trying to say. The accidents could have been way worse if the drivers didn't keep their cool and perhaps crash into the back of a recovery vehicle, which they could probably not even see because of the visibility during the start of the race. However, that's over and done. We are now currently racing. Honestly, looking at this is Russell. Looking at Russell, it seems like the visibility is decent, dude. Visibility is decent. Trust me. Oh, okay, I would be Holy crap! Russell paused Yuki Tsunoda on the outside of a very, very, very tricky S curve, dude. Very, very tricky S curve. He passed. Who's that? That is Lewis. Lewis is now about to attack Ocon. So Russell passed Yuki Tsunoda pretty easily, dude. Like Yuki Tsunoda looked like he was putting up a fight, and Russell passed him. And I would arguably say the most dangerous area to pass. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Norris is now also about to get attacked by Russell now. So Russell is now immediately moved on to the next target. His next target is Norris. Lando Norris. Yeah, so Leclerc is saying, how many positions do we lose if we box? We lose 5 positions. We'll drop behind Alonso. So Ferrari is contemplating pitting, and Leclerc is asking how many positions will they lose. So basically, Leclerc is doing the calculations for the team because we all know the clowns that Ferrari are. They are complete clowns. They can't do the strategy for the drivers. The drivers now has to resort to doing their own strategy for themselves. Okay, now we've got Russell passing Lando Norris. That is a dangerous move purely because if Norris decides not to allow him to pass, they both crash. So that is just Norris saying, okay, fine, take it, but don't think for a second we both wouldn't have crashed if I didn't make it easy for you. Basically giving up his place just for Russell to get past him. I'm quite surprised how bad Russell was in Singapore. It might be a mental struggle where his bad performance in qualifying caused him to really doubt himself during the race, and it basically snowballed into him making all sorts of mistakes during the race, like really bad mistakes. You know, crashing into people, damaging his own back wheel when hitting Mick Schumacher, like so many stupid things that Russell did in Singapore. And we don't expect that from Russell. Like, Russell isn't that type of driver. He's actually a pretty good driver. He's been driving in Williams, knowing exactly what it is to suffer with the slow car, and we didn't see that part of him. Even in the Williams, we didn't see that part of him, to be completely honest. That part of him that just makes mistakes over and over and just damages cars, damages his own car basically because of stupid driver error. So Lewis Hamilton is trying to pass Ocon. However, Lewis Hamilton, if Lewis Hamilton passes Ocon, oh, he's gonna do it now. No, he's not. He's not. Ocon, I don't see Ocon making it easy for Hamilton. I just don't see it, dude. I don't see Hamilton. I don't see Hamilton getting past Ocon. That's what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say right now. I don't see Hamilton. Like, Hamilton is faster than Ocon. Is he gonna try and do it at this straight? Okay, yeah, he's definitely gonna do it this straight. He's definitely doing it, yeah. But this corner in front is high speed and it's very dangerous, dude. Nah, he did not. He should have done it there. He didn't do it there. Yeah, cause that high speed left hander is pretty dangerous. Even from a guy that never raced on this track. I've done simulation races, and I can tell you now, if one of them makes one wrong move on that high speed corner, they're both going into the barriers at high speeds, and that's crazy, man. It's crazy to think that that's the type of danger that they can have. Now, of course, they can have that danger in any conditions, but remember, now it's rainy. Dude, the visibility is so poor right now, man. It's getting darker and darker as we speak. And remember, the darkness is more to do with the fact that now it's basically becoming evening time in Japan. It's now starting to become the evening. late, it's basically late afternoon, start of the evening, and now it's becoming a little bit darker. And that is also something we have to consider now. I like my only thing is I can't imagine that they are actually racing with those flashing lights on. Like I do understand it's security reason. Ocon is making noises about pitting. Yeah, Ocon is making noises about pitting. So the team is telling Lewis Hamilton that Ocon wants to go into the pits. Let's see if they are going to go into the pits. I don't think Ocon should go into the pits, dude. I think he should just continue. Why are you not continuing? Maybe it's because he believes that Lewis Hamilton will pass him sooner or later. Okay, so same spot, high speed left-hand corner. Lewis Hamilton this time. Whoa, it even sparks. Sparks in the wet. I have never seen sparks during a wet track. An actual rainy wet track where you just see sprays of clouds of water spray. That is interesting. I've never seen that. Damn, bro. And why is my stream telling me that I'm losing frames? What is this dropped frames nonsense, bro? I do not like this at all, man. I do not like this at all. Like, there's something wrong with my computer and I don't understand what's happening. There shouldn't be an issue here, but there seems to be an issue for no reason. Charles Leclerc will get a point for the fastest lap. Interesting. That is so interesting. Okay, I don't think my microphone is set properly as well. Let me just set something up here. Microphone. Yeah, microphone is not set exactly. Okay, this is definitely... Okay, so we... Almost touched. Hamilton and Ocon almost touched. Lewis Hamilton wants to pass, but he's choosing the worst possible times to try and attack Ocon, man. Lewis Hamilton has got straight line speed at least more than Ocon. Okay, so now he's going for the pit lane. So the pit straight. This is also a very dangerous fast right-hander that goes into a sharper right. So it goes from a fast to a sharper right hand. And Lewis Hamilton just said, "Now, fam, you can take that fast hand going to the sharp hand corner. I'm too scared to attack you there." So why didn't Lewis just make the stick? Yeah, he's definitely holding back. The fact that those cars can make sparks during the rain is insane to me, man. And it's Ocon's car that's making the sparks. It's not even Lewis's car making sparks. I think Ocon's car must be so low to the ground. It's actually insane. So I believe Ocon is not going to the pits because it seemed like Lewis Hamilton and his team was hoping he'll go into the pits. He didn't. Dude, Perez is now 2 seconds behind Leclerc. If Perez passes Leclerc and somehow they reward full points for this race, then Verstappen is world champion, dude. So at the moment, Leclerc, if Verstappen races... So basically, if Verstappen wins and Leclerc is second, then Verstappen will not be crowned world champion. But if Leclerc is in third, the possibility of them giving Verstappen world championship, the world champion, honor will be possible. And remember, the only reason why I'm saying not is because remember they said depending on how much percentage of the race has been completed. Remember, they started racing 3 laps into the race. They did a red flag. They waited for an hour. and then they got restarted. So I don't even know how much percentage of the race will that actually come down to, because whoa, who's that? Oh, it's still Ocon and Hamilton. The one thing I don't understand about these reporters, this sports broadcasting. Who's this? Russell trying to pass Nicholas Latifi, and I believe he did, right? Yeah, so corner number 6, George, same corner he passed Yuki Tsunoda, he passes Nicholas Latifi. The fact that Nicholas Latifi is in front of Norris, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Bottas, Mick Schumacher, Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda, Zhou, Gasly. That is interesting, to say the least. It means he probably didn't pit, right? So it seems that Sergio Perez might actually be able to catch Leclerc. Fastest lap from Chinese driver Zhou Guanyu is 1 minute 44.4. Why am I getting dropped frames, dude? This is so unnecessary. We're just in the groove, reel them in. I wonder why they asked Perez if he's sleeping. Interesting. They asked Perez if he's sleeping. He's literally catching up to Leclerc, man. He's catching up to Leclerc. What are we talking about here, bro? Okay, so let's just quickly do a position check. There's a very good chance that Perez might actually pass Leclerc. 10 minutes to go till the end of this race. 10 minutes to go. Remember, if you haven't watched the race, the first 3 laps of the race was in the rain. They decided to call it a red flag because of Sergio Perez. Sorry, not Sergio Perez. The Spanish counterpart was Carlos Sainz. Crashed off the track, basically hydroplaning, as the Americans say, or aquaplaning, as the Europeans would say, and crashed. Then we had Albon's retirement because of his engine difficulties, engine reliability issues. Then we had to wait an hour for them to get the race started again because the rainy weather was so bad. Now it's almost getting nighttime, like it's getting really dark, but they decided to go racing in the rain. Remember, it's still raining. It's still a very wet track. And the water spray is still very much a visibility problem in some areas of the track. So I'm quite surprised that they are still allowing this race to be taken to take place. However, if you watch Formula 1 and if you know about Formula 1, you will know that races have been done in worse weather than this. So rainy weather is nothing to be scared of in Formula 1 when you look at the history of Formula 1. However, the new FIA rules, they are trying their best to be as safe as possible for the drivers, to be politically correct, as they say, and make sure that they at least assume that the drivers are in fact being kept in a safe situation, especially safe racing situations. And that's exactly what's happening. So let's quickly do a position check before I forget. And yes, the race did start, and we are in a very strange position where there's only 7 laps left racing. It was a little bit over 30 laps left racing when they restarted the race. So I wouldn't say that this is full points. I can't imagine them full points. Now I have my cell phone alarm also going off. Interesting. That is a cell phone I don't really use much, and I switched it on, and it's got an alarm set for this time, which is interesting. But yeah, here we go. So Verstappen at first, Leclerc in second, Perez catching up very close. Very close. Perez is very close to the back of Leclerc. About to pass Leclerc, if I have to be honest. Ocon behind Perez in 4th place. Hamilton in 5th. Never even able to successfully pass Ocon. Vettel 6th. Russell 7th. Latifi 8th. Norris in 9th. Alonso 10th. Ricciardo in 11th. 12th Magnussen. 13th Bottas. 14th Stroll. 15th Mick Schumacher. 16th Yuki Tsunoda. Lance Stroll in 17th. Gasly in 18th. So now we're going back to the fight between Perez and Leclerc. Perez and Leclerc. Will Perez be able to pass Leclerc? Dude, I don't see Leclerc being able to hold. I don't see Leclerc being able to hold Perez behind him. I don't see it, dude. Like Perez is so much faster than Leclerc. So much faster. Dude, it's so interesting to see how dark it gets. Because it's becoming late afternoon, early evening. It's so interesting to see how dark it gets, man. Plus you see this water on the track. Some places there's no water spray, but most of the places that you could... Oh, it goes in on the inside. Oh, this might be it. This might be it. This might be it. Because now Perez has smelled blood in the water. He hasn't passed him yet. But he saw Leclerc making a mistake and he got a little bit closer to him. I think it's going to happen here. On the straight where Lewis Hamilton has tried and tried again but failed to pass Ocon, I believe Perez is going to try and pass Leclerc. Oh, but it's a lot of spray. The visibility is a problem, I think. So that'll be the only reason why Perez will probably not do it, because of the visibility issue. I would say within the next two laps, Perez is going to pass Leclerc. Within the next two laps, Perez will pass Leclerc. If not, it means that Perez does not want to take the risk. He does not want to take the risk. If Leclerc does not get passed by Perez. Dude, the sparks from the Red Bull. The sparks from the Red Bull during a wet race with water spray is so interesting, dude. So basically, Perez might be able to help Verstappen win the championship this race. I don't think it should count, because remember, it's not full race distance, because they had to suspend red flag the race for an hour. So they're not even doing full. Dude, they are changing up. They are changing up the cameras, dude. The camera brightness. So in some places it looks like it's basically becoming sunnier. There might be see here, Perez is going very deep into... Whoa, he's like right next to him there. I think Perez is scared. Okay, if I'm going to be honest here, I believe Perez is scared to make the move because of the visibility, because of the water spray, especially on this straight. Especially on the straight that Lewis Hamilton does not want to pass or cannot pass, because remember, Lewis Hamilton was next to Ocon and still didn't want to make it stick. So I'm just wondering if Perez will just Perez will basically make an excuse not to pass him. Which, that is his choice. That is his choice as a driver, whether or not he wants to take the risk or not. Because remember, everything is a risk. Everything is a risk. If you're going racing in the wet and you've got water spray that looks like clouds, pop-up clouds all over the racetrack, then yes, I can agree. You are more concerned about your own safety than actually, going racing. However, if Perez was basically going for a world championship and he needed to pass Leclerc to win that world championship, then I think you would find a different mindset. Because then he would be like, hey, I don't have a choice. Either I pass Leclerc and win the world championship, or I don't. So Verstappen is asking if they're going to box for new tires. There's only 2 minutes left. I don't think Verstappen realizes that this is working on a timer and we're about to finish the whole race. Seen again. But Perez is not committed. He's not committed to make... So on the sharpest corner of the race, I think it's like corner 9. Let's say that's 6. If that's 6, 7, that's 8, 9, 10. So corner 10. corner 10 is where you've got a very sharp corner, and Leclerc always goes wide, and Perez goes very close to the corner, very sharp into the corner, very close to the corner's entry and exit. And Leclerc is taking a very different approach by taking it very wide there, and it always looks like Perez might just have the opportunity to pass him there, but he's not. Whoa, mistake from Leclerc, sliding, and even then Perez did not take the opportunity. Dude, Perez does not want to pass Leclerc. Perez does not want to pass Leclerc, bro. I'm telling you now, because even when Leclerc made a mistake in his car, basically lost grip completely, going almost sideways, Perez did not want to attack Leclerc. I'm sorry, bro. Perez does not want this. He does not want this. I feel Perez is like, dude, I'm going to be third place. Why should I take all of this risk? I do agree that Perez, if he's not going to do it, he's not going to do it. That's just basically what it comes down to. Perez does not want to pass Leclerc, dude. He refuses to pass Leclerc. Even though Leclerc made a mistake at the pit straight, he still did not attack Leclerc. See, he does the same thing at corner 10. Goes sharp into the corner. Leclerc goes wide into the corner. He's not fully committed. He's not doing anything different. He's just doing the same thing. And he's not actually trying to get to the corner quicker, trying to attack the corner harder, or trying to attack Leclerc. And no, Leclerc is not going to give the position to Perez, and Perez is basically giving up attacking Leclerc hard. He's pretending he's attacking. Like, let's be honest, he is pretending to attack. So the only thing that Perez wants to happen now is says, hey buddy, I will stay behind you, so I'm giving you a little bit of pressure. I will not literally go past you. I will not actually attack you. And what that means is that basically, so this is the final lap. So the final lap right now, Hamilton is still behind Ocon. Even though Hamilton was capable of going next to Ocon, was side by side with Ocon, Hamilton could not pass Ocon, which is interesting because if Hamilton can get side by side with Ocon, how the hell can he not pass Ocon? Make a move that can actually get past him. In a retrospect, if we look at Perez has never even been side by side with Leclerc, even though his car is much faster on the straight, and it's just faster in general. Perez is not having any of it. Perez says, I don't care if Leclerc makes a mistake and I can get past him easily, then I will take it. But I am not going to risk my... Okay, I think he's passed. Oh my goodness. Okay, no, I think that is... Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Now I'm seeing him race. Now I'm seeing, like, all of a sudden, did he wait for the last lap? No, I think it's too late now. I think he lost it. I don't understand. Why did he wait until the last lap to make significant attacks? Nah, there's no way, dude. There's no way. There's no way. Okay, so... Whoa! He went wide! He went wide! He went wide! He went wide! Perez, why did you take the outside? You could have taken the inside, you idiot! I don't understand it. He could have taken the inside. And I do believe Leclerc will get a penalty. For sure, I believe. Okay. So I think if they give full points, I think Max Verstappen has won. No, but why did you go on the outside, Perez? You should have gone on the inside, man. Perez should have gone on the inside. He would have had an easy pass. But I do believe that Leclerc will get a penalty. The only question is, are they rewarding full points for this race? If they reward full points for this race, then Verstappen is a winner. Verstappen is a world championship winner, dude. If Verstappen gets full points, if everybody gets full points for this race, if Verstappen gets full points, if everybody gets full points as they should, as they could, because remember, should is a very strong word here, because remember, they didn't complete a full race. An hour of the race was deducted. For an hour, they were red flagging the race. They didn't want to race because of the rain. I think there's a very good chance that if the stewards decide to reward full points, Max Verstappen is world champion now. And I'm going to be straight up with you. The only reason why they will give it full points is if they decided that this was a significant race. This was close to a real race. I personally do not believe it was a full race, so I don't think that they should give it full points. But I don't work for the FIA. I don't work for the race stewards. I don't know. I don't know what they would decide, but personally, I don't see them, like, I can't see them justifying full points for a race that has run less than 40 minutes. 40 minutes is not a full race, dude. It's not a full race. It is not a full race. So Verstappen finishes first. Yes, I did forget to mention that. Verstappen mentioned... So Leclerc is on the radio. That's a penalty, dude. Penalty. That's a penalty for Leclerc, bro. Leclerc will get a penalty, but like I said, I don't think they'll reward full points, and I'm not sure, man. So this is how this goes. Very simply, I'm gonna repeat myself. I know I sound like a broken record. I'm gonna repeat myself. Max Verstappen will be crowned world champion if they reward full points, because Leclerc will get a penalty. He will get a penalty, like guaranteed he will. First of all, he went off the track. At the corner, he went off the track. He then blocked Perez. He literally blocked him in an unsafe manner. So that is double. That is two reasons why to... There's two reasons. They can choose one reason and penalize him with 5 seconds. And I believe it will be a 5-second penalty. Leclerc has done a great job. Unfortunately, doing what you did, it gives you penalties. That's unfortunate. That's just the way it is. Hopefully that'll make sense when they actually come down to, doing the penalty. However, we didn't get any information regarding... We didn't get any information whether or not he's getting a penalty. They might be looking into it. They might be looking into it. I think Perez is just talking to Max about it, saying that there's a possibility that he will get second place. And then Max just look at Leclerc just look at him like very briefly, staring at him, thinking, oh, okay. Yeah, so it says here, turn 16 involving cross 16 Perez under investigation, leaving the track, gaining an advantage. He did get an advantage, but the issue is that he shouldn't cut the track. He shouldn't cut the track, and secondly, he shouldn't block Perez the way that he did. That was an unsafe maneuver. Guaranteed he will get 5-second penalty. The only issue is, will he get full points or not? Will they all get full points? That I've got no idea. So I needed to do this already. So position check. We've got position check. Position check. Max Verstappen first. Sergio Perez. Oh, they did penalize him. They penalized him. They penalized. So according to this updated list, it says Max Verstappen first, Sergio Perez second, Charles Leclerc third, Esteban Ocon fourth. Esteban Ocon fourth, Max Verstappen. So that means Leclerc 5 seconds. Yeah, so Leclerc will still be in third place. Esteban Ocon fourth, Lewis Hamilton fifth, Sebastian Vettel sixth, Fernando Alonso seventh, eighth George Russell, Nicholas Latifi in ninth, 10th Lando Norris, 11th Daniel Ricciardo, Lance Stroll in 12th, Yuki Tsunoda in 13th. We've got Yuki Tsunoda in 13th, Kevin Magnussen in 14th, Valtteri Bottas in 15th, Zhou Guanyu in 16th, 17th Pierre Gasly, 18th Mick Schumacher, Carlos Sainz retiring in 19th, and Alex Albon retiring in 20th. Dude, this is so they did give the position. Now the question is Max Verstappen crowned the world champion? Did they get full points? I don't know. Did they get full points for this race? Did they get full points for this race? That's the only question now, is did they get full points? Like, I can't imagine what Perez was thinking, because I do realize that Leclerc was trying to cut off Perez. I do understand that. But if he went right side, like immediately went right side. But then again, it all depends on the grip. So he's obviously concerned if he was making too much, too strong of an input on the steering wheel. He could have been aquaplaning or hydroplaning, as the Americans say. So there's so many possibilities, and I don't know exactly what the answer is there. Whether or not he would have, should have, could have, but what I can say now is, from what I could see, is that if he just went onto the inside, from what I could see, he would have been past Leclerc. 100% he would have been past. He would have been past Leclerc if he went on the inside. If Leclerc had to push him into the wall, then Leclerc would have been penalized anyway. So I think, coming down to it, I think you know what the big issue is that even if by some miracle Leclerc somehow was first in this race, does he really think the rest of the races, especially in America, where Verstappen has won even with slower cars, like when he had to beat Lewis Hamilton in a much slower car, that Verstappen won't win another race? Like, that is just not possible, bro. Like, Verstappen will win this world championship. Like, I do understand you want... I called it. 5-second grid penalty. I called it 5-second grid. You have to understand. I'm watching video feed, and I called all of this as I'm watching the video feed. So because I do realize, when I saw that they were showing the actual positions on the screen, then I noticed that they were actually giving him a penalty, because they put Sergio Perez in second. Max Verstappen wins the world championship, so he's a world champion. They gave him full points. He's the world champion. Max Verstappen, world champion, dude. Max Verstappen is world freaking champion, dude. Johnny Herbert was saying something to Max Verstappen. I've got no idea, because it looked like Max Verstappen was like, dude, I don't know, Johnny Herbert had a conversation with him, interviewed him, didn't ask the same question that he had to ask him behind the scenes. What is going on, man? Do your job, bro. Max Verstappen, world champion. Very good graphics. They're showing like a montage of Max Verstappen's wins during the season and him being crowned world champion. He's a world champion, dude. World champion, dude. World freaking second time world champion. The only reason why I believe Max Verstappen deserves it is because all of the hate he's been getting for last season, the fact that he was leading the majority of the season, especially the end part of the season, the fact that Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes woke up during the end of the season and decided to use the engine, basically overclock their engines to use and produce more horsepower for them to catch up to Red Bull and beat Max Verstappen, make it almost impossible for Max Verstappen to fight back, because their car was a second a lap faster than the Red Bull last year at the end of the season. It just became obvious that no one could do anything, dude. No one could do anything with Lewis Hamilton. And last year when Max Verstappen won, I do believe the last race was a little bit of an oddball, but as a whole, Max Verstappen deserved to win the championship last year. Anybody that says differently is Lewis Hamilton fanboys. You have to understand that. Max Verstappen was the only driver to attack Lewis Hamilton the way he did during the hybrid era. During the era when only Mercedes won. Lewis Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton. I always say Lewis Hamilton because I know there's always a battle between Lewis Hamilton fighting Max and Max fighting Lewis Hamilton when it comes to legitimacy. Max Verstappen, world champion, yeah, so Max Verstappen has his own like world championship room, dude. I don't know why he's given a separate room, but you have this room with a chair and like this like, you know, like fur blanket and stuff. Very very bizarre, but I think that is like a Japanese culture where they have like, you know, these specific you know, special rooms where only the champions can sit in. He's a world champion, bro. World freaking champion. So I don't really have much. Let's see if I can at least pop up something on screen just to commemorate the fact that Max Verstappen is world champion. So yeah, Max Verstappen is world champion, dude. Max Verstappen world champion. Now, can I see? Can we at least put on a graphic on screen to basically point out? Oh my goodness. Do apologize if you're listening to stuff in the back. I don't think anybody believed that he would be winning this race, dude, including myself. I don't think anybody was thinking that this is gonna be a win for oh man. Yeah, I have to do everything on the fly. Dude, can I just please, man? Can I just get to something? Something, please, something. So he's two-time world champion, Max Verstappen, two-time world champion. I did not expect him to actually win it. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, so there we go. I think, but I don't want to use that one. I want to find a graphic, dude. I want to find a graphic. Do I just use that? So, so even Max Verstappen was like, dude, I don't think I'm world champion. I don't think I'm world champion, bro. Okay, let's see. I'm just scared, man. I'm not. Dude, just give me something, please. Oh man. Let me just let me at least just get something on screen, man. Like, damn, bro. Yeah, I think this is the best. Yeah. Okay, so champion of the world. So I'm just gonna quickly get this up. Dude, I do apologize. I'm taking forever to do this, but hey, I will get it done. There we go. 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 Okay, so Max Verstappen is world champion. And we just need to put it on screen right now. Max Verstappen is on screen. Okay, so there you have a graphic on screen. Max Verstappen, world champion. He's talking to Jenson Button about his mixed emotions, the fact that he didn't think he was crowned. There we go. Okay, world champion. Dude, everything, like, I'm trying to check for special graphic fonts, all of that. I was not ready for this stream at all. Next stream I will be ready. I don't care the fact that the championship, the winner of this year's championship is Max Verstappen. I will still be following all the races. That is what I do. I love to watch Formula One. I love to see Formula One. I love to analyze what these drivers are doing race by race. Lewis Hamilton, I believe Lewis Hamilton will no longer win a world championship. And I really believe that, specifically with the fact that Max Verstappen is here. I think Max Verstappen and Red Bull will make sure of that. So so it's- so they so now there's a lot of investigation going on between Mercedes and Red Bull trying to figure out how are they giving Max Verstappen full points if a full race has not in fact been have been basically completed. A full race has not been completed, so how can they do full points? And that is basically what we're looking at. Personally speaking, Max Verstappen was gonna win this no matter what. Like in the start of the championship, we all were wondering. There was a lot of speculation in the start of this 2022 season, Formula One 2022 season. We didn't know what was going to happen because the Red Bull kept breaking down, and the Ferrari was seemed to be unstoppable in the start of the season. And then as it progressed, then Ferrari started having their problems. But remember, in the beginning of the season, Red Bull had multiple mechanical issues. Yeah, so they're speaking to Christian Horner about the dominance of Max Verstappen, the fact that even Christian Horner didn't think that they will get all the points, the full points to actually win this championship, but they did get the full points, and this is a basically world championship. Max Verstappen is crowned world championship without a full race. I see why they would give him full points because at the end of the day they actually went racing. It wasn't like they started behind the safety car and they ended behind the safety car. No, they actually went racing. So I can see why they would give him full points. I don't understand why Perez left it until the last possible lap, dude. Now it did work out for Perez in the end, but come on, Perez. Dude, he definitely pushed Perez to the side, huh? He definitely tried to push. Like, even if they didn't give him a penalty for cutting the track, they could have given him a penalty for just cutting Perez off there. Oh, I see why Perez didn't go on the inside. I see why he didn't go on the inside. It was impossible. Cause so Leclerc was basically blocking him. Yeah, so Horner is just saying that since last year's championship, Max Verstappen has grown stronger, better, and he is more capable as a driver moving forward. So Christian Horner shouting out all his team members, people in charge of aerodynamics, people in charge of the design of the car, everything, shouting them out and just saying, you know what, they are absolutely MVPs to make such a brilliant performing car. Dude, I can't imagine. So Max Verstappen is two-time world champion. Like, he 1000% deserves last year championship. Like, I don't even understand why people are still like Lewis Hamilton will never get that opportunity again, and it's obviously why, because his car can't make up for his lack of skill. Verstappen, I would say the point where we realized Verstappen was something special is when Lewis Hamilton was 1 second a lap quicker in Brazil, but in Qatar They were both almost equal. And remember, Lewis Hamilton didn't know the Qatar track that well. Verstappen was using his driver's skill to catch up to the Mercedes raw power and speed in Qatar, because Lewis Hamilton wasn't fully, acclimatized and wasn't fully comfortable with that track, seeing he doesn't know that track very well. So in Qatar, for me last year, I realized that Verstappen deserves whatever he gets. And then in Saudi Arabia, with that complete destruction of penalizing Verstappen for the most stupid stuff, dude. And these absolute Lewis Hamilton fanboy zombie, zero mind, zero common sense, doesn't even see the injustice there, dude. That Max Verstappen was penalized so many times, saying that no, he has to let Lewis Hamilton through, even though that made no sense why he had to let him through, dude. Even when Lewis Hamilton drives into the backs of Max Verstappen, it's Max Verstappen's fault, not the driver behind him driving into the back of him. Like, it was ridiculous at the end of last season how they were like literally destroying Max Verstappen's championship, and it was sad, man. And you know what? Abu Dhabi was justice, in my opinion, for what happened in Silverstone. In Silverstone, what happened is Lewis Hamilton, in my opinion, definitely pushed Max Verstappen off. And that was the tipping point for me. I was always a Lewis Hamilton fan. I believed Lewis Hamilton was the best. But as soon as I saw what happened in Silverstone, I could no longer stomach Lewis Hamilton as a world champion. I couldn't stomach it, dude. Because I know what he did. No one else will possibly know. They will all say it's speculation. But from my personal perspective, I know exactly what I saw. From my personal perspective, all the years that I've watched Formula 1, I saw that and I knew exactly what happened there. And Lewis Hamilton pushed Max Verstappen off because there was no other way for him to win his home Grand Prix. And that is just a fact. That's the fact of the matter, and that is it. There's nothing left to say. Hopefully this is the end. Hopefully Lewis Hamilton can come back stronger, but I can promise you now, Red Bull and Max Verstappen will not make it easy for Lewis Hamilton, and that's why I believe Lewis Hamilton won't be a world champion moving forward. That is my opinion. I might be wrong, I might be right, but my opinion is Lewis Hamilton is not the guy he once was. He isn't that. He is no longer capable. Max Verstappen will not only, be better than Lewis Hamilton in all the ways possible, but he will definitely succeed in ways that Lewis Hamilton cannot succeed. Even with a car that is less performance. He has already shown that when he was fighting a much faster, much more superior car last year at the end of the season, because Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes decided that their engines no longer mean anything to them. They are going to overclock and use new engines as they should, even though the regulations say you should not use more engines. Lewis Hamilton and of course Mercedes decided that they will use more engines to basically destroy those engines to have more performance and more speed, and that is what they did. They have the speed to win a championship that basically was an unfair advantage, in my opinion. And even then, they still couldn't win. Hopefully this is the end of the drama of people saying that Max Verstappen is not a world champion, because right now he's a world champion. No one can ever stop the fact that he is a world champion now. No one can say no, he's not a world champion. Even though last year he led the majority of the championship, people will shove it and say no. Lewis Hamilton fanboys will just reject Max Verstappen being the world champion last year, and I don't agree with that at all. He deserves the championship last year, and he deserves this championship just as much. It's the same. Okay, so now he's doing a hand print on a stone, where he's putting his hands on a stone. It seems like it's something that Suzuka and Japan is doing for their racetrack, so they're probably gonna put it in the wall somewhere and say that this is Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen, bro. But they did have 1, 2, and 3, didn't they? Oh, so they are using that as some. Oh, they're using one, so it's not just because of the world champion. It's also because of the fact that of the results of 1, 2, and 3. Very cool. So Max Verstappen, world champion. He's no longer. No one can say that he's not a world champion. And what's gonna happen dude? The saddest thing about this world championship is Leclerc, man. Leclerc and what Ferrari did to Leclerc's championship hopes. What Ferrari did to the championship hopes of Leclerc. That is even worse than I can even imagine. That someone can be so like what they did with. Damn, it's just sad, man. It's so sad. I'm just gonna watch Verstappen doing interviews and stuff, just see what he says. Yeah, so he's saying he didn't know how many points he was gonna get, so he wasn't sure that he will get the championship this race. So Max Verstappen saying that Johnny Herbert actually confused him, telling him that he was world champion and then saying no, yes and no. So now they've basically Max Verstappen just left the building. Basically, a figure of speech, left the building. He said what he had to say, and they asked him about whether or not he believed he won. He said he didn't think so because of the fact that he didn't complete the full race. He didn't think it was going to be rewarded full points. He also wasn't very sure about what happened between Leclerc and Perez, so that's something else that he wasn't fully aware of. And ultimately, the good thing about this race is that it settles it. Even though this is chaotic, like technically this race is chaotic because no one knew what exactly was going to happen at the end of the race. Because it didn't really make sense that they would give him full points. But he would have won the championship anyway. So it's like, okay, better give him the championship now, even though we all saw him win the race. We all saw Leclerc making a mistake at the final lap, the final chicane, should we say? The final chicane, he cut the chicane, and then he basically destroyed his own potential of. Look here, Leclerc would have never been able to catch back up to Red Bull and Max Verstappen. That's just no bueno. You would not have, dude. Your team is not capable of doing that. I really apologize. Okay, now we're doing an interview with the Helmut Marko. Dude, Helmut Marko is so old. He's the boss of Red Bull, the big boss of Red Bull, and he sounds so old and sounds very fragile, dude. And he's just saying they didn't know that he won the world championship. Only on the speakerphone did they find out. Yeah, so we were talking about Michael Schumacher, the fact that Michael Schumacher has 7-time world champion, and if Max Verstappen is going to aim to do that, and can he even do that? And Helmut Marko is saying, well, he didn't even know it was capable of happening. But Lewis Hamilton also has 7 world championships, so he realizes that there's a possibility. Yeah, so 17-year-old Max Verstappen joined Formula One. He's the youngest Formula One driver ever, dude. And actually, the FIA banned teams from doing younger drivers than 17 years old. So Max Verstappen is the only guy that was capable of joining Formula One at 17 years old. He's now 2-time world champion. Imagine that, man. Imagine that. Imagine that. Records being like Max Verstappen is making so many records happen. It's actually insane if you think about it. Hopefully you enjoyed. That's gonna be it. It's just a very odd stream because of the timing of the Japanese race, the fact that the race was delayed because of the rain, and then ultimately, I didn't think they were gonna go back racing because when I saw what happened in Belgium last year, I thought to myself, there's no way these guys are gonna go back racing because they kept saying it's getting there's more rain, in some parts of the track, and the track isn't even dry, and it's like the even the safety car or medical car driving on the track was losing grip, which is just a normal car, and that car was losing grip on the track. So I'm quite surprised that they actually continued racing, and even more so, I'm quite surprised they gave full points. But I think what I've noticed about Formula One is as long as the race continues and there's a significant race, the race actually happens and ends, and there's a significant majority part of the race happening and completed, especially it doesn't finish under the safety car, then you will most likely get full points. At least we realize that now. I've never seen that, so that's it. So hopefully you enjoy this live stream. Yes, I know it's a very strange live stream. I do agree. I would have preferred to just do the normal graphics on screen and everything, but unfortunately, I also, basically needed to install a new operating system, and that meant everything that you see on screen was slapped together very quickly, and I was unable to do it properly. Hopefully, that's cool, and see you in the next race. Ciao for now.